Hi, everybody. How's it going? It is snowing like crazy in Seattle. So, are you guys having any fun yet today? This is a live call-in show. Feel free to call in live right now, anytime you feel like it. The number is 805 Mox News, 805 Mox News, or 805-669-6397. 805 says it right there in the title. Come on. I got stuff to do. If you don't want to call in, don't call in. So I thought we should talk about this because they're having this whole, free speech. You're not allowed to have free speech anymore, right? And the thing is that nobody's talking about it, right? I don't know. Have you seen it somewhere else in the media? About the whole Israeli oath thing, and that if you don't if you speak out against the crimes of the Israeli government, that you should be penalized. You saw the Roy Blunt video, right? Senator Roy Blunt saying that U.S. citizens who speak out against the crimes of the Israeli government should be penalized, right? So the question is, do you think that U.S. citizens should be penalized for speaking out about crimes of the Israeli government? Telephone number is right there in the title. You can call. You can be part of this. I don't, it's weird on this one. I can't see the chat when I have to go find this thing, this live thing that's happening. Oh, look, there I am. So you guys don't want to talk about the crimes of Israel? You don't think we should talk about that? Oh, Mox News is fake news. That is so original. I never heard that one before. Are you a parrot? You sound like a parrot. Fake news! You're so smart. The people here are so smart. So how come we're not talking about this? Yeah, someone called the buffoon. Oh, good. Look, someone called the buffoon. Hello, caller. Who's this?
It's Joe from Tucson, Arizona. How are you?
I'm good, Joe. How are you?
Hey, doing pretty good.
So what's on your... Have you called before?
No, I haven't. This first time though.
Right on. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Are you a long time Mox News viewer?
Well, let's see. I don't know. I just chopped into your feed around probably 2016. So I don't know on the scale of is that long or is it not long?
That seems like a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, But with that being said, I think that I think people have to have the right to speak out.
What's your name?
My name is Joe.
Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe. Let me ask you. Did you see Rand Paul speak the last couple weeks about this whole Israeli oath thing in the Senate?
Ooh, you know what? Man, I'll tell you what. That guy has been on fire lately because the only guy that I ever saw speaking up about anything about this foreign entanglement is Rand Paul, and I gotta salute that guy because he's a lone voice out there. Look at all the stuff in Venezuela. Look at the stuff in Syria. That's the dude who's standing up and standing against all this stuff.
Right.
Brown University just came out. They said we spent $6 trillion in Iraq and Afghanistan and some of these other satellite wars.
Yeah, I think it's more than that. Honestly, I think since 9/11, it's probably closer to 11, 10, 11, something like that. Probably double what they're saying. Double what they're saying sounds about right,
Yeah. But well, Brown University, I mean, we've got to go with some numbers, but I wouldn't be surprised again if you're right with that estimate.
But that being said, did you see Rand Paul speaking about the boycott, divest, and sanction Middle East bill?
No, can you give me the short version?
Well, the Senate has just Marco Rubio introduced legislation that said that if online in your social media that you show support to the boycott, divest, and sanction of Israel because of the crimes of the Israeli government, that you should be put on a list that means you are no longer allowed to have government contracts with the U.S. government.
Oh man. See, I think this is a direct link. Like, this is a simple dot to dot. It's campaign finance reform. I think we need to get rid of Israeli money in the United States government. You know how much AIPAC? It's like one of the number one lobbying firms that happens. And when people, AIPAC says they're coming to your town,
I hear you 100%, Joe. The thing is this is bigger than the whole AIPAC thing. I mean, it's not bigger than the AIPAC thing, but what I'm saying is these are, and the Senate, by the way, voted like 99-1 in favor of passing this legislation. And the only person who spoke out against it was Rand Paul. That's why I asked if you saw Rand Paul's speeches about this, and the thing is you didn't see it. If you didn't see it here on the Mox News, which is unfortunate because I did my best to get this out to people, then you didn't see it anywhere in the media because it's not in the local news. If it was going to be in the local news, it would have been in the Seattle local news. It was not. And it was nowhere in the mainstream media. So, and that's why I think it's really important. Like you being a semi-long time Mox News viewer, didn't see this. And I posted it, loyalty oath, Israel, all this stuff, and I've been covering this for over a month now. So,
yeah, it seems to be like there's, I don't know, almost like one branch of government. It's a financial aspect.
It's this opposite sides of the same coin thing,
Yeah.
And that coin is endless wars of choice based on lies for profit.
Yeah. Well, but it's a scam and a sham, and I think, we're in the information age. I think, you're doing your news channel and everybody else, we're all communicating. This didn't happen, just a handful of years ago. A friend and I were talking about like how much our political views have changed since I'm 53, and how much our political views have changed since, being 40 years old. And what we thought was the case really wasn't the case. And yeah, it's just, so I think that is kind of everybody's story. And now we're all kind of coalescing. And again, I mean, just us getting together, having a little chat about the State of the Union for, shooting the poop and that. It's a new thing. But I think it's a thing that's going to be, these politicians can't keep scamming out like this. Sooner or later, you're going to see a political Me Too movement.
This is the thing, is that they swear an oath to protect, the Constitution, which is your rights, and here they're violating our First Amendment rights of being able to speak out without repercussion. And they've sworn oath with their hand on the Bible, and all these sons of bitches will claim Christian or Muslim or whatever, and they pick their religious faith, book of choice, and then they put their hand on it and swear to their deity that they're gonna, and the American people, that they're going to protect your rights, and then they just like act like that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
with the Patriot Act and the national the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, where they just approve of universal spying on all Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That's that's the one that's going to be coming out because you ever notice how nobody really cares until it's like, I mean, Jeff Bezos having some naked pictures and it's like these upper class guys, Anthony Weiner.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of tiring. And I know, it's kind of like the same theory. They only build jails for poor people. They only were spying on, normal people and creating,
No, they're spying on everyone. They're spying on everyone.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny how they couldn't find any pictures of Great Britain is London especially is one of the most surveilled areas
Right.
in the world, and they were like trying to find these meetings of Paul Manafort, and meeting with Julian Assange and all that, and like you click on MSNBC and you swear to God their hair's on fire that they just got the news that came hot off the press. And but those guys, nobody's went to jail for anything Russia related, and it's just a joke. But yet, it's pushing this theory of they can say it, but damn well that place is the most highly surveilled thing anywhere. You tell me who's on a crap list more than Julian Assange, and I don't know who that would be.
Yeah, no, Julian is the top of the list for sure. And it's ridiculous. Every time they ask Roger Stone, how many times did you speak with Julian Assange? It's like, how many times did Wolf Blitzer speak with Julian Assange? Dozens of times. Why are you shitting on me? It's beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, well put. And I was going to say it's kind of the same thing about the fake Jill Stein stuff and all these side characters who I don't buy any of it. I don't buy the whole Russian investigation. Now, would I be surprised if Trump was doing deals in Russia that involved Russian bankers? Yeah. Bill Clinton's highest speech came from Russian bankers. So people do world finance all the time. It's just, I know you got to disclose it when you take that oath. And it goes back to the cynicism that you were laying out before, Mike. And, just you take that oath on, whatever deity you believe in and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's a cleanliness that does need to be applied when one steps up to that thing. And, I don't know. I'm super cynical right now.
There should be some kind of law that if they violate that oath, they need to be immediately removed from office, and and some kind of penalty applied. I mean, they want to penalize us for speaking out against, the crimes of Israel, and they just do that. It's ridiculous.
So, related matter, Mike, what do you think about them tweeting out the new leader of Venezuela after all the Russian hyperbole? Of meddling in our elections, but all of a sudden we've just declared Juan Guaido the president of Venezuela. And it just so happens that it's got the world's biggest oil reserves underneath its feet.
Well, if meddling in our election, I mean, the U.S. meddles in every single election around the world. Intensely.
Yeah.
And so why would they think that, Russia wouldn't do the same? Of course they do, but I don't believe that they hacked the DNC. I think that there's
John Podesta's password was like password 123 or something.
No. I don't think that at all. I think that there was an inside DNC worker. If you look on the front page, Mox News YouTube page, it says not the Russians, disgruntled inside DNC worker. There's a right on the front page. There's a video about it, and he was upset about the way that they were treating Bernie Sanders. So he handed over a whole disk full of emails, about how that they're cheating to put Hillary Clinton in charge. Yeah,
I agree with that. It's nonsense. But I mean, like in the face and in the timing, and I know we have a long history of toppling, 1953, the Iranian publicly elected,
Right.
whatever their guy is. And, but, ever since then. But in Latin America, especially, we've got a long history of putting dictators,
all the
Pinochet
election,
comes to mind.
any election we can meddle in, it's done deal. I mean, the
But
CIA is there, and they're handing out suitcases, $100 bills, and whatever else that they can to help with the people that they want to win that election. Where do you think all these signs in English come from?
Yeah. It's just the awkward timing of it right now, because we're getting ready to head into another election. The Democrats, all they want you to hear is that, we were victimized by Vladimir Putin, and we're still dealing with a lot of, Russian plots that are in this country, and bots, robots.
I tell you,
sort of bot.
Hey, Joe.
It's crap.
Hey, Joe. Okay, thanks a lot for calling. I'll tell you what I think the investigation's about. I'm going to hang up, okay? But thanks a lot for calling, okay? Call back again soon. And please donate, you guys, because I'm trying to make Mox News around for the 2020 election. I'm going to tell you what the Mueller investigation is all about. The Mueller investigation is about the controlling Donald Trump. So they get this guy in position, this FBI legend who was in charge of the FBI during 9/11 and was the top in charge at the FBI during the Boston Marathon bombing. Which is pretty much all you need to know about Robert Mueller. But the reason that he's in this position is so that he can be this looming thing saying, you don't get out of line, Donald Trump, or here's what's going to happen. We're going to arrest Donald Trump Jr. How do you like that, Donald Trump? So when you're at the State of the Union, don't get any ideas about announcing your own investigation. Like, what Donald Trump really needs to do is get on live television saying he's going to sign an executive order saying, you want an investigation? Here you go. How about a new 9/11 investigation? And I'm going to put Alex Jones in charge, and I'm going to give him $100 million to start the investigation. How do you like that for an investigation? There you go. Because that would get people's attention. But that's what Robert Mueller is about, so that when Donald Trump is in front of the whole world during the State of the Union address, he doesn't go and say, your government's lying to you about 9/11. Because if he did that, then they go, okay, Donald Trump Jr. is arrested, and all of a sudden the hammer comes down. Oh, we have all this stuff. The investigation has concluded, and we've decided Donald Trump is blah, blah, blah. Insane. So you get what I'm saying? So what he just said, that executive order doesn't count. That's what the Robert Mueller investigation is all about. Hello, caller.
Hello, Moxie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not bad. First off, I'd like to say thank you for all the years of hard work. I know that all that can be extremely tedious, uploading and downloading and editing. It goes along with that.
It's become a lot harder because people are so angry. It's like I just get shit on all day long. I work really hard to keep this moving, keep it interesting, and people like, yesterday there's the hearing about Donald Trump's taxes, and people are like, why are you posting this? This is totally irrelevant. No. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is a historical event. People are going to be talking about this for months.
Of course. And, you always got to get all sides of the picture, too. You want to see, get all angles. That way you're fully informed.
Right. I'm not just here for your personal bias. I'm not trying to pander to any of you. I'm trying to do this for everyone. Everybody. We have to bring everyone together. It's the only chance we have to survive.
Oh, I completely agree. And like I said earlier, I just got to thank you for, we're talking, how many years have you been doing this? It's been well over a decade, right?
I started in 2003 with the 2004 election between John Kerry and George W. Bush.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure I was like the first person to post the "Don't Tase Me, Bro" video.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's probably how I originally stumbled across you.
So it's been a while.
That's awesome. But no, I need to know what's the best way to donate because you got to get paid for this.
The best way is if you can do a PayPal monthly thing where you just kick down, or you can go to the Patron and do a monthly thing there. And if you kick down for lunch once a month, that is just super, super generous of you guys. That's all I've ever asked for. I think it's a reasonable request.
I see people on YouTube making a lot more money than what you are, and they do half as much work that you do. So, I mean,
I'm not making
people forget how much time this does take and how much of it requires of your time.
And I'm not about the money, you guys. Okay, yesterday I posted 9 hours of video and nobody gave a penny. And I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning so that I can get the Attorney General up and viewable for you guys immediately.
But if you could, give you a suggestion right now.
Yeah, bro.
If you did more of these call-in videos and somehow we're able to set up a super chat button, because you have to sit through and watch all of this news, you're more informed than most. You could sit here and answer people's questions as they call, and they'll tip you, for your information.
You have to have an AdSense account in order to open the super chat, and they won't let me have an AdSense account. So
because why are they just trying to censor you like all the other BS that's been going on?
They're definitely trying to censor me, but there's more to it than that. I had an AdSense account and I canceled the AdSense account. And now they're saying, and now I can't seem to get one started. So
okay.
Well,
I just got to say thanks again for all the good work. I'm going right now to figure out a way to get you a little bit of money. I mean, I don't have the biggest wallet myself, but when I see guys like you trying to inform the masses, you gotta get paid too.
And I'm dependable, man. I'm here always. And
always.
even if I only post little ridiculous videos one day, it's kind of just to let you know I'm still in place. You know what I mean? I'm still watching. A lot of people, they do their 8-hour job and then they go home and they're done for the day. That doesn't ever happen with me. I get a break every once in a while to take a nap or to get some lunch or to take the dogs for a walk. But other than that,
what amazes me about your channel, Monty, is the fact you can turn the mainstream media right on its head with a simple headline. The way you word your titles on your videos, it can completely set the tone for what you're about to watch. And, you can basically turn a propaganda piece on its head by titling it right.
It opens people's eyes. I think it's almost one of the best. That's why I haven't done a whole lot of speaking about it, because then it just becomes me telling people what to think. And I really don't want to do that. I want to show you that, look, when I say we all have to come together, I'm trying to show you who the real enemy is. It's the people in Washington, D.C. It's the people on the news saying, we got to stay in Syria. We got to stay in Syria.
And thanks again for uploading the Rand Paul video the other day where he went off on him. And that was an awesome, about 21-minute speech about the anti-BDS. He touched on that a little bit too. But yeah, everything that he had said basically about Afghanistan and Syria was dead on. There's no reason to be there.
Yeah, it's just, and no one agrees with him. There's nobody, these people are all, we support the troops. We support the troops, but we have to keep them in harm's way, away from their families for the biggest bumper crop poppy season yet since we've been in Afghanistan this year.
That's the real reason. And then their fake facade reason, their little, we got to prevent another 9/11 from happening, or we don't want these guys over here. And it's just a bunch of BS. It's like, you're going to spend trillions of dollars and sacrifice thousands of lives for a possibility that there might be a 9/11 10, 20 years from now. It makes no sense.
Yeah. What's your name?
My name's Tyler, and I run Non-Mirage TV. I've actually plugged.
Oh, hey, Tyler. Thanks a bunch, man. Yeah, I've seen you a lot.
Yeah, I've been watching you for years, man. I really appreciate everything you've done, and I'm going to donate right now. And if you ever need anything out of my channel, you just let me know.
Okay, thanks a bunch, Tyler. Really appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a good day.
All right. So just a second ago, Tyler said, that if we're going to spend trillions of dollars, and that's one of the big things, man, is this trillions of dollars. Think about what we could do with trillions of dollars. We could plant gardens around the world. We could make the world into a paradise with trillions of dollars in just the right plan. But instead, we have to go and make a hellhole into an even bigger hellhole. You know, we have to go and make the hellhole that Saddam created into just an unlivable hellhole. And that's how our treasure is being spent. Our blood, our soldiers that we value so much have to go to a war based on lies to die to make some rich cunt, already filthy rich cunt, even more rich. That's the sole purpose why we went into Iraq. That's the sole purpose for all this war. 9/11, that's a joke. And that's what I'm saying. If Donald Trump really wants to get their attention, but then the hammer falls from the Mueller thing. That's what the whole Mueller thing is all about. And anyways, I wanted to talk about, you know, if Americans should have the right to speak out against Israel, as Rand Paul is saying in his speeches this last week. Hello, caller.
How you doing, bud?
I'm good. Who is this?
This is Tim.
Kim, how are you?
Good. I just wanted to call and ask you, what do you think about Israel owning Donald Trump?
I think, Donald Trump has been nothing but buddy-buddy with Netanyahu from the minute he got in office. And if Donald Trump signs this legislation that says that if you speak out against Israel, the government's going to put you on a list and you are no longer allowed to get any government contracts, that Donald Trump at that moment becomes an enemy of the people and the Constitution of the United States. And he breaks his sacred vow that he took to the people and to the deity that he claims to cherish so much.
So, do we have any facts that Israel support or give him campaign money?
Well, it seems like Israel gives everybody in the United States government money. Pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this whole Middle East bill, along with not being able to speak out against Israel anymore, the Senate is agreeing to the agreement to give them $48 billion over the next 10 years. Right? Israel's like the 10th strongest economy in the world. They don't need our $48 billion. They're going to take, a good 10 billion of that dollars or 5 billion of it and go and buy U.S. politicians all day long.
Well, they do that already.
Yeah, with big fat suitcases of $100 bills or $20 bills, depending on if you're a freshman or, if you've been there a while.
So we should probably drop a nuke on them.
Yeah, I don't think that's the answer, but we should be able to speak out against them. And any politician who wants to stand in the way of Americans speaking out is an enemy to all Americans and all freedom-loving people everywhere.
It's treason.
In my own opinion, it's coming really darn close, especially with the the oath that they swore, to the American people. Yeah. What's your name?
Well,
Kim, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Where are you calling from, Kim?
I'm calling from Ohio.
It's snowing here. Is it cold there?
It's about a good 25 degrees out.
Yeah, it's about the same here in Seattle.
Yeah. Well, they say Obama was a real big puppet of Israel as well.
Obama is the one who promised Israel the $48 billion. The Senate is just now voting to approve it, you know, that part of that spending over the next 10 years.
Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is our government, and now they're saying you can't speak out against them, and they took Alex Jones off the air, and the Russia Today channel on Comcast cable has now been removed. And so what's going to happen is Israel's about to attack Iran in some big way, and you're not allowed to speak out against them. And did you see, Kim, did you see these Rand Paul speaking out about the BDS stuff?
No, but I was listening earlier, and I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
Yeah, they're very good speeches. You should go back and look. It's been like the last 2-3 weeks he's been talking about it a couple of times.
Well, he seems to be the only one bringing it up.
You know, and this is the thing, is that it's nowhere in the mainstream media. It's nowhere on the local news. And this is what I do. And if you can't see the value in that, you guys, to kick down, or if I wasn't able to do it anymore because I survive solely on tips and donations, and it's like almost nobody gives anything, you know, and I know you're better people than that.
Yeah. What do I do? Go to PayPal or?
There's clickable links in the text body right below this video. There's all kinds of clickable links. You can go PayPal, Patron. There's a GoFundMe page. Any one of them will work great.
I'm going to check that out and drop you a couple bucks here.
I would really appreciate it, Kim. If you could just kick down for lunch, that would be super generous of you.
Well, I appreciate you answering my few questions. You know, I'm still learning about all the terrorism that Israel does. So.
Yeah, well, thanks very much. Check out those Rand Paul videos. Thanks for calling. And this is the thing, is that when we do this, you know, the callers are always so nice, and it's not like, you know, all day long in the text people are just shitting on me. But when we do this live call, people are like, oh yeah, and yeah, I saw that, and that was really good, and man, I really appreciate your channel. And I just want to keep doing this for you guys, because I know that it is a good thing. I know that it's of value to you, to the world, to everyone. And no, I don't pander to your biases, okay? I'm not Sean Hannity. I'm not going to come out here and say what you want to say. If I was going to do that, I have to go and build 5 different channels and pander to all the little, you know, groups, and then be, you know, and I'm not going to do that. And if you guys believe that Sean Hannity is somehow a good Christian, you're a big old Kool-Aid drinker. You shouldn't need to walk around in a t-shirt that says, give me more Kool-Aid all the time. All the time, 24/7, because Sean Hannity, with his fixer attorney, ain't no kind of good Christian. Not the kind that you think of when you say good Christian. You know, these Republicans, they go and hack out your First Amendment rights. Say you can no longer speak against Israel. And then they go, oh, but we have to stop the baby killers. We got to stop the baby killers. You guys don't like the baby killers, right? It's this bait and switch crap, okay? They're taking away my right, your right to speak against people that are killing babies with your tax dollars in Israel, in Gaza, in the West Bank. Okay, they bomb little children. They bomb children playing soccer on the beach. They drone strike them. 9, 10, and 11-year-old brothers playing soccer on the beach. Drone strike. That's what your dollars do. Okay, and we're not allowed to speak out against that anymore, or else you get put on a list. Okay? Nobody wants to talk about that? There's the telephone number, 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. It's a call-in show. Lines are open, right? Lines are open. Lines are open. But then, you know what happens? So these Republicans, they all vote against that. They all vote for that, to censor your free speech. And then they go, oh, infanticide. And you go, oh, the Republicans are on my side. You're going to have to turn down the computer.
Okay, I got it.
How's it going?
It's going great, brother. My name's Cecil Drake. I'm in your chat right now.
How's it going, Cecil?
It's going, brother. I'm hanging out enjoying the snow.
Oh, yeah, where are you at?
A little bit south of you.
Oh, yeah, it's coming down, huh?
Dude, I might need a ride to work, man. It's coming down.
Yeah, work's canceled, bro.
I showed up a little late to school today, and they were like, "You can just go home. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, everything's canceled in Seattle, man.
Freaking sucks. But hey, man, I wanted to ask you if you knew about a couple of other YouTube channels, and also, man, I wanted to thank you for the work that you do, because I really like. I'm somebody who likes to document police corruption.
Yeah.
And I've had to use your channel as a reference quite a bit.
I'm glad that I've been able to be there for you.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. Do you know about No More News?
It sounds familiar.
He has actually been to Israel to video document what's going on over there.
Oh, right on.
When it comes to like No More News, Adam Green, you really need to check it out, man.
Cool. I will do that.
Also, do you know who Mark Google is?
No.
Mark Google TV. He's also out of Seattle.
Huh.
It's like a late night call-in show.
Right on.
People call in about different topics and whatnot.
It's a YouTube show?
It is.
Right on. I don't think I've heard of him before.
This I don't know what you want to call it. This platform or this model right here, this live chat model, is starting to become really popular. There's a lot of people doing this right now.
Good. It's what we really need. Is we all need to have this discussion. This is what I've been trying to generate. This has been the most important part of Mox News for a long time, is the discussion. You know, we all need to come together and see that, you know, who the real enemy is, and then stand together against them.
Right, I agree. But in my experience, you can get farther with people and red pill people harder if you gotta focus on what they're doing and not who they are. These people are evil, period. You don't need to give them a name, Illuminati, or whatever. They're evil. Excuse me, I'm a little sick.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
And then from there, once you explain that they're evil and why they're evil, then you can start name dropping and giving examples. Oh, well, this country did this over here, and that country did that over there, and yeah, I'm somebody who I'm a member of a group of people who likes to historically research the events that took place in Europe between about 1918 and 1918 and 1945.
Huh.
Because there's a group of people out there, man.
How old are you?
I'm almost 40.
Right on.
And there's a group of people in the world that have detected that there's a lot of lies that is taking place and propaganda about this time period.
It's all history, man. I mean, you know, look at the early American history. Look at 9/11. Look at recently. You know, look at moving into Iraq. It's been nothing but lies. The whole Iraq war is based on lies.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to point something out. Excuse me. I wanted to point something out. You notice, just take notice, man. Every time there's somebody that the Jews don't like, they accuse them of gassing somebody.
I think I think the whole attacking people is becoming, you know, universal for all the different groups. You know, and this is the problem. Hey, thanks so much for calling. This is the problem with this whole politics of division, is that they have us all divided down into these little groups. And that's why I don't pander to this group or to that group, because we need to move beyond that. And if you've been foolish enough to drink the Kool-Aid as to paint yourself into the corner of I'm a liberal or I'm a conservative, then it doesn't give you anywhere to move. And that's not who you are, and it's not who we are, and it's not who Americans are, and it's not who humans are. Okay? We're meant to come together. Those things are meant to divide. And we need, and you're just buying wholeheartedly into this whole politics of division. Oh, those people, you know, want this or want that. It has to be about everyone's freedom. You have to fight for your neighbor's freedom and their rights to live their life the way they want, or else your rights are in jeopardy of being suppressed just as much, whether they're religious rights or anything else. People must be allowed to live free, and all that matters is that we fight for everyone's freedom. That's why I don't pander to this group or to that group. I fight for everyone's freedom. That's what you will lose if Mox News does not survive. And I really just want to be able to do the 2020 election because it's going to be insane. And I show you things no one else does, including the mainstream media, which has $1 billion budget. And I have zero budget. And I'm showing you stuff that they won't come close to showing you. Do you guys remember the video of the Google CEO being grilled about why is there videos all over YouTube of Hillary Clinton consuming the remains of children? The Google CEO having to answer that question about videos of Hillary Clinton consuming the remains of children. You didn't see that in the mainstream media. You didn't see that anywhere but Mox News. The Clinton Foundation hearing, 3 hours long, all this stuff, they're just stuff. The gentleman referencing the police brutality. You understand, I put my neck on the line speaking truth to power. There's videos that say in this Mox News archive, which is over 8,700 videos long. In this archive, there's a video titled, "This Cop Deserved to Catch a Rock in the Face," in which I commentary and explain why the cop deserved to catch a rock in the face. Okay, all the cops, and he's a Seattle cop, and all the cops in Seattle know my name, know who I am, have a giant file on me. Okay, know where I live. I put my ass on the line in that way to fight for freedom and explain the truth to you so that we can all see who the real enemy is and come together, stand together against that enemy. The enemy of freedom, not my freedom, all of our freedom, the freedom of anyone to live their lives the way they choose, without some petty little cunt trying to get back in line over there. Okay? Humans don't need to be babysat. Humans don't like to be told what to do. Okay? Have you ever seen the movie World's End? It's a great movie. It's by the guys who make like Super Fuzz and oh, they're the British guys. Anyways, I can't think of their names right now. But World's End, and in the end, I mean, spoiler alert, you know, that's how it ends. It's like, humans don't like to be told what to do. It makes them react negatively. Okay? I'm trying to show you the enemy of humans are the ones that are telling us what to do. The ones who feel that your freedom needs to be governed. The ones in Washington, D.C., as I pointed out already in this video, they're not there to protect your rights as they swore with their hand on the Bible. They're not there to do that. They're there to govern your freedom because your freedom is dangerous to them. Hello, caller.
Hey, I just wanted to say that it's impossible for anybody who is, you know, Arab to be an anti-Semite. So I think it's funny when people are saying that you have to be anti-Semitic to be against Israel. I mean, I'm Middle Eastern and I'm against Israel and I'm a Semite. So I just wanted to put in that point.
To speak out, a piece of land cannot be a religion. Okay.
Yeah.
If a piece, I mean, what's next? If a piece of land is going to be religion, is another piece of land going to be able to be homosexual? It was, you know, it was born that way, right? I don't think so. Okay. A piece of land is a piece of land, and
well, I'm just saying, I don't think that anybody is racist that is Middle Eastern, like the Palestinians that people say they're racist. They're not racist because they're also Semites. So the Israelis and the Palestinians come from the same people. So, you know,
no,
like this has a lot.
I understand what you're saying. That's a very good argument, and I agree. You know, I mean, it's very difficult to be anti-Semitic if you're from that neighborhood. That's you're Semitic. I mean, that's how, you know. So I agree with you, and I think it's ridiculous to call people who speak out against the crimes of the Israeli government anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying? It's just not that's an insult to the Jewish people. If you're speaking out, if you're saying something horrible about Jews, then you're anti-Semitic. If you're saying something horrible about the crimes committed by the Israeli government, and the Israeli government jumps up and down with their hair on fire saying, oh, that's anti-Semitic. No, they're being anti-Semitic because they're attaching their evil crimes to the Jewish people. They're doing the worst possible thing they could do to the Jewish people. Is they're taking these evil crimes like bulldozing an orchard in the desert that has fed generations, has fed families for generations. They just bulldoze an orchard. They poison a well in a generation that has helped a neighborhood survive for generations. Poisoning a well in a neighborhood, you know, it's just pure evil. And then you want to attach that to the Jewish people, and that, in my opinion, is anti-Semitic. So we're clear.
Yeah, also, sorry, I don't mean to talk over you, but just one last point is,
well, it's your call, caller.
Here in America, you see Jewish people that speak out against Israel too, but they don't get the press because they aren't, you know, in tune with what the media wants.
I agree. Thanks a bunch for calling, man.
Yeah, have a great day.
I agree completely. You don't hear anyone in the media speak out against the crimes of Israel. When Israel goes and attacks Gaza, right? And then they say, okay, this neighborhood over here in Gaza, we're going to bomb this neighborhood in the next couple hours. So all the women and children, if you go over to this UN shelter, which was a school, it's now a UN shelter, you go to all this women and children only. We're going to bomb your neighborhood, so you have 2 hours to get over to this shelter. And then they bomb the fucking shelter. Okay? That's what's done with your dollars given to Israel. They say, oh, if you go over to this shelter, you'll be fine. And then they bomb the shelter. And then you know what happens? Then the ambulances come in to pick up the pieces of the people that are left to try and help them. And they bomb the ambulances. And then you know what happens? Some ambulances actually get some of the people out of there and to the hospital. And then you know what happens? They bomb the fucking hospitals. Hey, caller, how are you? Caller? So, we understand each other. I am not allowed to say these things without my name being put on a list if Donald Trump signs the Middle East bill. Okay? So I think it's important to say these things now. And I think it's important that you understand that, again, if Donald Trump signs the Middle East bill, if it passes the House of Representatives, which will be an interesting debate that I'm looking forward to. Although they'll probably try and do some under the table thing where they do a unanimous vote by voice, and then we don't get to hear any debate on it at all. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you guys. Did I tell you that I love you guys? I think the world of you. And this is the thing. I think this is partially why I get shit on all day long, is because I think the world of you guys. I say again and again, how nice the callers are, that you guys are intelligent people. It's why you're drawn to this work. That you're better people than to use a service again and again and again that survives solely on tips and never tip. I give you credit then to be better people than that. I honestly believe that 99.99% of you are better people than that, and yet less than less than half of 1/10 of 1% of you ever give anything back. And all I've ever asked for is that if you could kick down for lunch, that would be super generous of you. I think that that's a reasonable request. There's 8,700 videos on this one Mox News page. And the thing is I have got to get beyond this stupid money bullshit. I personally hate money. If I loved money, I would not be doing this, because I've been broke since the day I started this. I hate money. I hate how much influence it has on everyone's life. It's disgusting. But beyond that, okay. This is a call-in show, you guys. Telephone number is right there. It's 805 Mox News, 805-669-6397. But I have to do this. I need to move beyond this money thing so that we can have the discussions that we need to have without this stupid money thing getting in the way over and over again. Because I start talking about money and you guys are all he cares about is money. If I gave a shit about money, I would not be doing this. There's no money in it for me. I'm never going to get rich. I'm never going to get the paycheck that I deserve from YouTube. What's up, caller? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I might be doing something wrong. Try again. 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. 805-669-6397. Let's try again. One more time. Hello, caller. Come on, you guys. Come on, you guys. Did you enjoy the Attorney General thing? I thought that was pretty good theater, for a minute. No, we shouldn't bomb stuff. We have to stop bombing stuff. Bombing stuff is not the answer to anything. You know, that's what assholes like George Bush and Barack Obama and Donald Trump do. They bomb stuff. Okay? We need to stop doing that. We need to grow gardens. Didn't you hear me? $11 trillion. Though we could have made the whole world into a giant garden. Nothing but green, 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 purifying the air, helping cure the CO2 levels, making the world the better place that the paradise that it once was. $11 trillion. Instead of that, we threw it away into a shithole country and made it an even bigger shithole country that now has the biggest bumper crop of opium poppies it's ever had in its entire history. Caller. Hello? Hello, hello. I know you. I heard him. Never there. Okay, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, if the phone is screwing up, or somebody's just fucking with me. Either way, it's fine. I really enjoy connecting with you people, with all of you. I'm not catering, I'm not catering to anyone, okay? You people who are the pro-life people, okay? I put up the pro-life rally, okay? I go and sit through that and get, here's the president and here's the vice president talking at the pro-life rally, and it's not because I'm pro-life, okay? It's because I move beyond my personal bias to do the job for you, okay? I can't pander to you all. I can't pander to this group, to that group, so that I can gain your support like a shitty politician, huckster salesman. Oh yeah, infanticide. No, we must stop the infanticide. Those politicians don't give a damn about infanticide. Otherwise, they'd care about drone strikes on three brothers on the beach playing soccer. Otherwise, they'd care about bombing hospitals. Otherwise, they'd care about, like I'm saying, the bombing has to stop. Otherwise, they don't give a shit about infanticide. And they don't give a shit about infanticide. What they care about is pandering to Kool-Aid drinkers. They say, oh, yeah, you can't talk about people killing babies in Gaza. You're not allowed to talk about that. Hello, caller?
Hey, man, what's going on?
I'm doing this call-in show. What's going on with you?
Yeah, I saw your show on the YouTube recommendations.
Oh yeah.
So I figured I called in.
Are
I want to.
Are you a long-time Mox News viewer?
I don't know. I just saw your thing on my recommendation.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, I want to talk about China and Israel.
Okay.
So you know how China is the sort of role model for the globalists.
That sounds about right.
So yeah, and I do watch Brendan O'Connell a little bit, and I think he's right. He might be a little crazy, yeah, but I think the future is going to be designed in Israel and manufactured in China. And, they're stealing all the technology out of U.S. to China. So, I don't know. It looks really bad. The future is very bleak.
I think this is part of the programming, is that they want you to be, that's part of the fear programming, is that, the climate change, everything's coming to get you. Everything's coming to get you. The war, we got to fight them over there, so we don't have to fight them over here. It's just fear, fear, fear. Because if you're fearful, like Like I went to the grocery store today, right? And there's supposed to be a big storm in Seattle. It's supposed to snow for the next 48 hours, 72 hours, something like that. And just all the shelves in Seattle are just bare. And I was like, what the hell? Because people, they just instantly fear. And the thing is when you're afraid, you become a better consumer. You're quicker to spend your money. You're quicker to turn to people who are strong leaders. Yes, we got to go over there. We got to fight them over there, so we don't have to fight them over here. If you're afraid, that's the guy you want, right? You want, we got to have this strong guy to stand up for us. You know what I'm saying? So they want you afraid, and fear is meant to be a momentary thing, right? It's supposed to, and the thing is in modern day Western society, fear is like an almost never ending sword of Damocles hanging over your head that is about to drop at any moment. But it's really supposed to be like this momentary thing, like you're walking through the jungle and a tiger jumps out and you have to decide, okay, should I run or should I, stand and fight? It's flight or fight, right? So that's what fear is about. It's that momentary thing where it's this rush. I have to make a quick decision right now. But the programming of Western civilization has us in this never-ending state of fear. Oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills next month? Oh my God, this, oh my God, they're coming to get us. And you know what I'm saying? It's just this the global economy, the future looks bleak. Oh my God, we're all going to die. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. No, it's just like, this was in the news like a couple of days ago. Reddit, REDDIT.
Sure, everybody knows Reddit.
Yeah, so they're taking $100 million from a Chinese company, Tencent.
Well, if you could take $100 million from a Chinese company, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess I would, but then
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like a window opens. You have a moment to decide whether you're going through that window or not. And if there's $100 million on the other side of that window, you're probably going to jump through that fucking window. That's all I'm saying. But I get it. I mean, I haven't sold out to anybody. I'm just here for the people, all the people. I'm not going to represent pharmaceutical companies. I'm not going to represent alcohol companies. I point out cannabis companies, but that's because there's a whole ton of cannabis companies, and it's hard to find the ones that are good. It's hard to find the ones that this is worth your time, this is worth your effort, this is worth your money. So and that's the facts, Jack. It's all new to everybody. It's not like, you only got 3 strains to choose from anymore. Speaking of which, this is a call-in show. Did I mention that? Thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in on my little call-in show and the Mox News, because I've always said it's you guys that give Mox News value. It's because if you guys weren't here, it would be meaningless. If you guys didn't tune in, if you guys, what would be the point in me posting videos? Hey, that's not my phone. That's the downstairs phone. All right, so let's see. No more money for Zionist wars. Got that right. Do another what? Very fun. Do another what? Do another what? Do you have a zigzag? A zigzag? I don't think I have a zigzag. Oh, no, I got a whole stack of zigzags over there. Why you need a zigzag? All right. Hey, so there was 700 people at one time watching the live stream of the Attorney General. It said 7,500 viewers in total over the 6-hour period. It said 95 days of time were used during the 6-hour period that the Attorney General video was streaming live this morning. So, and that was just in the first 6 hours, 95 days time. So, and this is the thing, if Mox News is not of value to you, then wasting your time on that kind of level when we could be, again, changing the planet into a paradise. And, I should just, if you don't see a value in Mox News, I should really stop, because I don't want to waste 95 days time in 6 hours. Okay, I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to do that to me. I want to make good things happen in the world. And I've tried to be, like I said, Mox News isn't about conservatives. Mox News isn't about liberals. Mox News isn't about any little group that they've got you broke down to. Mox News is about everyone, showing you the common enemy, the enemy to our freedom. Okay, that's what it's all about. The enemy to our freedom. And this is why I point out this Israeli loyalty oath thing that they're trying to pass through the Senate, through the Congress, to put on President Trump's desk, where if you show support for the boycott, divest, and sanction of Israel, that you can no longer get government contracts, that you should be penalized in some way. Your name should be put on a list. Okay, and the reason I point this out is because it's a huge violation in our First Amendment rights, as Rand Paul said. This is basically the banning of the First Amendment. That's Rand Paul's words. And basic human rights, and anyone who voted for it is breaking their vow, to protect the Constitution being your rights, to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Anyone who votes to violate the First Amendment, who tries to say you're not allowed to speak out in the way you see fit, is not only an enemy to all freedom-loving Americans, but to all people everywhere. Because today they say you can't speak out about Israel, and tomorrow they say you can't speak out about 9/11. And then the next day they say you can't speak out about the Iraq War. Okay? And this is the proverbial slippery slope. And the reason I point this out, the reason I'm making such a big deal about this, is because none of the mainstream media covered it. Okay? And again, this I'm pointing out because it's just something that's happened in the last couple of weeks, and I'm showing you this is what Mox News does, is it shows you things you would not see if I were not here. If I were not in place day after day, sifting through hours and hours and hours of information every single day. 8,700 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. Imagine how long that would take. 9 hours of video yesterday. Okay, 8,700 videos on this one Mox News page. Everyone hand selected by me to be worthy of your viewing time. Okay? And if you don't see the value in that, then you should ask yourself why you're here. Because your most valuable resource is your time. And so is my most valuable resource. And I spend it trying to open the eyes of people as to who our common enemy is, so that we can all come together instead of pretending, oh, look, that guy's against infanticide. No, he's not. He'd also be against war if he was against infanticide. And you're stupid if you think anything else. You're lying to yourself. So are we done here? We're just going to finish it with infanticide? Because I'll go burn one if we're done here. Okay, well, thanks very much for tuning in. If you want to call, the lines are open. It's 805-669-6397. You can call now, or I'm gonna go because it's a call-in show, and if I just talk, I get too excited and I yell at you, and I look like I'm not a nice person, and I really am, a happy person, and this is why I want to get beyond this money thing. I don't want to spend any more time talking about that. You need to realize who I am, that I fight for all of you, not this petty bias, not that petty bias, everyone's freedom. I am about freedom. I have fought and fought and fought for freedom for 15 years on YouTube and long before that. Guaranteed. I am a legendary freedom fighter in Seattle. For many years before YouTube ever existed, fighting for everyone's freedom. It does not matter what your bias is. I fight for freedom. That belongs to you. It belongs to your neighbor. It belongs to everyone. That's what Mox News is all about. What it's always been about. And for whatever reason, you buy into this politics of division. It needs to stop. It's a complete theatrical bullshit. Okay, I'm going to go because nobody's calling. But thanks very much for tuning in. I always enjoy this time. I always enjoy it. Thank you very much to the callers. Oh, I was going to look to see if anybody donated. Let's see. Ooh, look, I got a donation. Ooh, I got a $5 GoFundMe. Nice. A $5 GoFundMe. Gotta love it. And what do we get over here? And a $5 PayPal. All right. We're rolling in it now. Going to the weed store. Isn't that the big fear? I'm going to go to the weed store with your money. These people were generous enough to kick down for lunch because that's all I've ever asked for. They're super generous to do that. If you claim to be Christian and you take and take and take from someone who has generously given his life to make the community a better place, to fight for your freedom, and you claim to be Christian, and that person begs you for their lunch, and you turn your back, you're not Christian, so you know. Okay, I guess we're done here. Nobody's calling. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. See ya.